I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we eating steak, remember sleeping on the floor. We stillin' at the gas station when the time was cold. In the kitchen, hot still trying to flip it out the stove. Rockin' fake J's, praying that nobody know.
Now you guys know I'm not a dev.
To stay composed, fight to see the light of day. All this blood on my clothes. I was tired every day, green light, it's time to go. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Die too young. 100 miles per hour, I might crash cause the good die young. Yeah, the good die young. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. Right back where I left because I know my people needed me. Diamond in the rough, I don't know what it is they see in me. Go down as a legend in my city cause we beat the streets. Trying to spread the wealth around the block, no I can't keep from me. Told me I should leave. I see the bigger picture and it's way bigger than me. Kept living like a king but my people need to eat. If I got it, then you got it, we gon' get back on our feet. And I put it on me. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Die too young. 100 miles per hour might crash cause good die young. Yeah, but here I come. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home. Y'all coming back home. Y'all coming back home.
I was like, okay. How much?
Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay up. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store, I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you knocking the shoot. I'm watching you do the cam base, where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching full seven stanza like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time, I know you see me standing in the front, back in the line, I happen to grind. Every minute passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to stew a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong. 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate. The one in debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me here again. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I ain't worth.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay up. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Okay, we back now. Okay, we back now. It's been a minute, foot is on the gas now. Ain't no limits, I swear I can never cap out. Yeah, they don't let me loose, I'ma act out. Cause I'm back out, whoa, look, I'm back now. Back now, back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now. Back now, back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we, yeah. I got the city on my shoulder, straight to the top, yeah. I told you I never drop what I'm holding, yeah. I got the team with me. We gotta go and we on a roll, so we never see defeat. Yeah, lights still shine even when the world's dark, and I still stride even when it gets harder. We stayed steady since the day that we started. No, we ain't stopping, I know we got it. Look, we back now. It's been a minute, foot is on the gas now. Ain't no limits, I swear I can never cap out. Yeah, they don't let me loose, I'ma act out. Cause I'm back out, whoa, look, I'm back now. Back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now, back now, back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now, back now, back now. Look, we back now. It's been a minute, foot is on the gas now. Ain't no limits, I swear I can never cap out. Yeah, they don't let me loose, I'ma act out. Cause I'm back out, whoa, look, I'm back now. Back now, back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now. Back now, back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now. Back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now, back now, back now, back now, back now. Somebody tell them that we back now, back now, back now. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And oh boy, do we got a good show for you guys tonight. We are going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, obviously, guys. But I actually want to take a look at some potential bullish time frames, or time frames that are starting to show some kind of bullish signals here, and they do lie on the higher time frames, guys. Now, as you know, if you guys tune into the live streams recently, you will know that we are looking for some more downside for Bitcoin. But on today's show, I want to take a little bit of a zoom out and actually take a little bit of the contrary, take the opposite view and start looking for some bullish things and zoom out on the macro just a little bit. So we're going to be taking a look at the possibility of some more upside incoming here, guys. But again, in the longer term, right? We are still looking for some potential downside. But in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, we can potentially see some more upside. So I want to talk about that today, guys. We're going to be taking a look at the levels above us and below us with maybe some potential trade opportunities. And then about halfway through the stream, guys, we will be taking a look at those altcoins. So don't spam them right now. Shout out to Dave Digital for letting me know yesterday that I do actually ask you guys to spam chat every single day, and he's right. So don't spam them right now, but wait until about halfway through the stream, and then go ahead and spam your favorite altcoins. I'll go ahead and take a look at them, and not gonna lie, guys, we were looking for a move down on Loom a couple days ago, maybe at the end of last week, and that thing decided to roll over and croak. So we'll take a look at Loom today as well. I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested, as it did get a big move to the downside. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get to spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure for multiple chances to win some free crypto. And if we hit 550 likes by some miracle of the crypto gods, I'll go ahead and add some free Frankie Candles hats to those giveaways. And I'll give $100 in XRP to one lucky CandleMafia member. So smash that like button if you have not already. Hit it with your butt, touch it with your elbow, punch it, kick it, creepily fondle it. I don't care what you do. Just make sure you hit that like button. But before we jump into the charts, guys, let's say what's going on to the CandleMafia. Just straight up green name after green name. If anybody is interested in getting a membership, these are gifted by the community. A lot of times it's golden. He gifts them to the community, but you got to make sure in your settings that you have the ability to enable gifts or accept gifts. You have to toggle that setting in the settings. I don't know what it's called or looks like, but that's what the Mafia says. So make sure you get that done. But who do we got in here today? We got DestructoBot 9000. Shout out to you, bro. Out there wrecking the crypto markets. Let's get it. Shout out to Creighton C, as always, the POC king, and our like police for the channel. We got Rob the Crypto Snob, one of our wonderful mods. Mark Dutch, as always, good to see you. We got Hodl Crypto, Black Sail, Ben, Dave Digital, Mike Volmer. What is going on, bro? 420 Bud Monster. What's going on? Crypto Nate B, JP. We got Psychedelic Astronaut in the chat. What is going on, bro? Good to see you. We got the other TJ, Cryptic Sniper, Derelict. What is going on? I'm my hero, Poor Man Joe, who we are going to turn into Rich Man Joe. But shout out to you, Caffeinated Crypto. What is going on? And last but not least, certainly not least, we got Darren Does Things, Steven Atwell, and Alexandra and Tyler Durden, guys. Show some love to our mods. You guys know who they are. Give them some love. They help me out endlessly with this channel. I'm forever indebted to them. So show them a little bit of love. Let them know that you love them just as much as I do. But with all that being said, yeah, we got a full his house. Shout out to T-Pie. Shout out to you, bro. We do have a full house. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the charts because we got a lot to look at tonight. And excuse me for 2 seconds while I turn this fan on real quick so our camera does not die. Give me 2 seconds. I swear Mrs. Candles be out here trying to shut down our camera on purpose. Starting to think she's working for the SEC. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump in here. Shout out to Candle Daddy. I see you, brother. But here we are on, I actually want to zoom out to the higher time frames, guys, because as you know, locally, we have, and I really, really want to talk about this. I may actually do a trade breakdown or just like a TA breakdown maybe for this Sunday sauce, talking about this move to the upside and big rejection to the downside. Because if you guys watch the show, you will know that we were looking for this move for very specific reasons. And I really want to break that down, but we're going to do that in just a little bit. But just to kind of preface things before we talk about these bullish signals, I want you guys to know my general sentiment here is still that we have come up here, grab some liquidity before coming back down to potentially come down to some lower prices. Now, my original thought with this thesis, guys, was that we were going to break these range lows. And although this is definitely possible, we'll take a look at some some of those lower levels of support that we have to the downside a little bit later in the stream. Just a little hint, they're down here. But I do kind of want to, here's the thing, right? We were looking for, again, potentially to see that move up to about 30,400 to 30,600. If you guys watch the channel, you will know we were looking for that for a potential liquidity grab, which I do want to break down, guys, because, it's really important. The main thing for this channel, guys, is I want you to understand why I look for these levels and what is the theory, right, behind me assuming that price would come all the way up here before reversing to the downside. Not just me. I don't just want to come up here, give you guys some secret key levels. Yo, guys, watch out for this level. I want to show you guys how I get to these conclusions and not only find the levels, but the theory behind why I think certain things will happen and how we're able to predict things just like this. And it has a lot to do with show me the news. I mean, show me the news, I'll tell you the charts. Show me the charts, and I'll tell you the news. You could show me the news, I'll tell you the charts. It'd probably be pretty easy. But show me the charts, I'll tell you the news is like the truest thing I've ever heard of. So I want to break that down real quick. But my general sentiment, guys, is that we did come up, scoop this liquidity to potentially get a bigger move to the downside. Now, the original thesis here was that we were likely going to break these range lows and potentially come down to some lower prices coming in. Sorry, wrong folder there. Coming in between, down here between about 24.3 and about 22.2. And we'll get to that in a minute. But here's the thing, guys. Nobody knows what's going to happen, right? Nobody knows if we're going to break below these lows. Nobody knows. And if they're telling you they do know for sure, run as fast as you can. But here's the thing, guys. Can we break these range lows? Absolutely. And I wouldn't be shocked if we did. But because as traders, we actually understand that we can't guarantee anything, and we know that anything can happen on the charts. Here's the thing. I am not just like spraying here, right? And just assuming that we're going to break these lows. And I'm not just going to randomly hold my short with no legitimate reason just in hopes that I'm going to break these lows because that's what I thought was going to happen, right? That makes absolutely no sense. And if you're trading like that, chances are you've been getting wrecked and you will continue to get wrecked, right? So what I want to talk about today, other than the long-term bullish case potentially, I am still looking for some more downside here in the medium term. The only thing that has really changed there is not that I'm not expecting to break these range lows, but just we are kind of in a weird spot where if we don't come down to specific levels, we may not break the range low, right? We know that's a possibility, and we have a lot of key levels underneath us that would actually look very saucy for a big long position if we are going to get more upside for Bitcoin, potentially breaking those yearly highs. And speaking of that, you guys did hop in on that poll, and okay, most people don't think we'll break yearly highs, and I am in that camp, but understand that it is still definitely possible, and I'm going to show you guys kind of the levels above us and why I think, or not why I think we'll break yearly highs, which, because again, I am still basically in the camp that we won't, but it's not impossible, right? So I want to show you guys on the charts kind of how we could potentially get there. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and come up to the higher time frames here, starting off on the weekly time frame. And I actually, you know what? We're going to start off on the monthly here, guys. Number one, here's the thing. Monthly green dot, right? We don't really take a look at the monthly very often, and the reason for that is basically because these candles take forever to print, right? They take a month to print a new candle, so it's a very slow-moving chart. But we are right now printing a green dot here on the monthly time frame, and if we come on to something with a little bit more price history, such as the Bitstamp chart, you could kind of see here, right? We got the green dot on the monthly, and typically these are pretty indicative of more upside, right? So I'm just going to mark out with vertical lines all these green dots. Now, obviously, you're not going to be trading these green dots blindly. You guys know that is a real quick way to get wrecked, and actually, you'll see by looking at this chart why that is, right? But just in general, I want to mark out here, right? When you start to see these green dots pop up on the monthly time frame, it is typically time to start, I don't want to say time to start ripping to the upside, but typically when these green dots print, a lot of the downside has been, let's just look at it, right? Back down here in 2015, we actually got two monthly green dots at the bottom right here at about $217. You got the first one, got a little push up, then you got a little correction, second one came in, and then you got an absolute blow-off bull run, right? And then you obviously had a monthly red dot and another green dot print here. But these two green dots, you got significant upside of about, let me go ahead and, let me zoom in real quick. Is Golden in here? If Golden's in here, I'm sure he already said control plus, Frankie. So here we go. This one's for Golden. We'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. But here's the thing, right? You get these 2 monthly green dots, and in general, right? Now, here's the thing. This is the thing about TA, guys. You could come up here and be like, oh my God, monthly green dot, that's bullish, right? And then you get this big red candle, and people will be like, oh, what happened? I thought it was bullish. And sure, you did get a dump, but in general, you have to look ahead of your nose, right? You need, what's the you don't look past people don't look past their nose, right? Don't miss the forest for the trees, right? I guess is another saying. You guys know I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur with these catchphrases. But as you know, you got the green dot. Sure, you got a big red candle on your next monthly here, but then you simply printed another green candle. And in general, although you got a little bit of market noise here, once that green dot printed on the monthly, it was essentially up and to the right. And then what happened? You got a nice little cool off, another monthly green dot, and another absolute moonshot to the upside, right? And again, if you want to put percentages on these from the first monthly green dot to the first monthly or to the first monthly red dot, was about 286%. Now, obviously, this was a different time for the asset, but coming in here, you get another green dot, which wound up giving you another 3,248%. And then obviously you get a red dot at the top of that 2017 bull market, big collapse, and then you bottom out here, and then you print your first monthly green dot. And what happens here, guys? Once you get that monthly green dot, not only did you get a significant push to the upside, right, of about 238%, but it also signaled that the bottom was in, right? It was, I don't know if it was signaling the bottom was in, but at that point, the bottom was already in. And it was the same thing back here. Once you got that first monthly green dot, your bottom was already in. So this is somewhat of a bullish sign, right? And then obviously, right here, you get a green dot. That was your bear market rally. You cooled off, got a monthly red dot. You cooled off a little bit, and then you got a monthly green dot before this black swan event. So that's kind of it's kind of a wash, right? Black swan events are unpredictable. So, you know, I would consider this one an anomaly because it just green dot instant dump, but that was tied to a black swan event, which obviously can happen right now, but we just can't predict it, right? You could sit here and start to think to yourself, well, hey, we got some stuff going on in the world that could become a black swan event. But you know, I'm just kind of ignoring that one just because of the sake that we had the black swan, right? And then right here we had a monthly red dot came down. Actually, didn't get a monthly green dot before the pump, and then this one was kind of a fake out as well. So, but again, like we were talking about on last night's stream, guys, it's a lot about context, right? If you're looking at the price here and you know that you're coming up to the end of a 4-year cycle and you get a monthly green dot, I'm not going to take that as seriously as if I get a monthly green dot at what I know is nearing the end of a bear market, right? And just from a cyclical and timing perspective, you can kind of time this stuff out, right? So the monthly green dot here would obviously be taken a little bit more seriously, not only because of the timing in the market, but you could also look here, and your momentum wave is below the zero line, right? So you were kind of locked. You were kind of locked and loaded to get a move up. Where as you get it on the as your momentum waves are not only above the zero line, but also in the overbought territory, you want to be careful with those green dots. But here we are. Right, although we are above the zero line right here with this monthly green dot, although we're above the zero line, we're not in the overbought territory, right? And as you guys can see, typically these monthly momentum waves come down below the zero line, and then as you cross over above the zero line, bear market is essentially over and you come up, right? You come back down, you dip below the zero line, you cross back over, essentially the bear market is over and you come up. We have already gotten a whole lot of pain in this bear market and gotten a big dip below that zero line on Market Cipher B, and now we are crossing back over the zero line here with a fresh green dot on the monthly. So what does this mean, right? Well, in the past, it's meant that not only is the bottom in, but essentially, really what you see from that first green dot on the monthly that you get, and obviously we had this one down here as well, which started our bear market rally, but, you know, you get that first monthly green dot, the bottom is in, you come up, you get a red dot, you come down, and then that next green dot is essentially off to the races. And I'm not saying that we're off to the races. I want to be very, 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 very clear. Shout out to Michael. I'll come back to that in a second. Me and Mrs. Candles went out to eat last night, but we'll talk about her gift in a second. You know, again, right, that first monthly green dot pops up, the bottom is in, you get the bear market rally, and then by the time those second green dots print on the monthly, you know, not necessarily doesn't mean that you're going to instantly pop up, but overall, it is kind of where the trend begins to come to the upside, and we just looked at that through this back testing, right? So, you know, kind of bullish puzzle piece number one. A lot of the bullish puzzle pieces lie on the higher time frames, guys. So monthly green dot would kind of be bullish time frame number one. Monthly green dot. Now, it's not confirmed. We have plenty of time to, get this unprinted. You could come back down, but you have another 13 days and 2 hours to confirm that green dot. And so we could still see it wind up coming back down and disappearing. But as of right now, if that confirms, guys, just historically, these monthly green dots usually give you something, with the exception of the one here with the C19 dump, which was obviously a black swan. And then again, with the exception of this one as well, but we're not even considering this one because of the context of the chart, right? It's very important that you're not just taking signals blindly. You don't want to just be like all in longing a monthly green dot at the, when you're coming up to the end of a bull market, right? And we know this because of the 4-year cycle, right? That's kind of how we time these things out. But coming on down here, right? 2 week, also getting a fresh green dot. I wouldn't really consider it a trigger wave, but it is pretty tight to the 0 line. On top of that, you also have your money flow coming up on your 2 week as well. So again, this could be somewhat of a bullish signal in the long term. You guys, one thing I want to press home today is that although you're getting that green dot on the 2 week and the monthly, we can still see big moves to the downside, right? And we just looked at that on the monthly chart, right? Where is it? Green dot right here, massive dump, right? Let's zoom in here and see what this really would have felt like. You get the monthly green dot, you're thinking, oh my God, we're going up. You go up, and then eventually you wind up getting a 37% dump. Now, I do think, in my own personal opinion, I think we're past where this would be in the cycle at this point. But you get that 37% dump, but when you're zooming out, guys, that monthly green dot, if you bought that monthly green dot, you basically bought the bottom of the bear market, right? And then boom, you come right up to your 2017 highs at about 20K. So again, don't miss the forest for the trees, right? And that's just, it's one of the most important things you guys can take from this stream is don't worry when you're looking for the long-term investments. Don't worry about the low time frame noise. Don't worry about if there's a monthly green dot and you get a big dump, right? Chances are that eventually things will turn up. So even if we confirm this green dot and then get a dump down to what would a 37% dump be? I mean, it would be pretty 17, 18K. We could wind up coming back down to 18K, and that wouldn't even be, that wouldn't really take away. Again, looking back, if Bitcoin's at 100K, 200K, right? You're not looking at that being like, oh my God, I bought the top. You basically bought the bottom of the bear market at that point, right? If you do come up that much. And then obviously, down at about 18K, wouldn't even really be that unlikely. Not unlikely, but it wouldn't be that weird of a place to go. Not saying we're going to get exactly a 37% dump exactly, but remember, we do have these macro levels down here. We have that macro 786 coming in at about 19K. You got the golden pocket sitting here at about 21.2. So it's not impossible to come down to these levels, right? Especially to wick a little bit lower. You could easily wick to 18K and still maintain bullish market structure, or it's still put in a macro higher low here and continue to the upside. So just keep that in mind, especially especially just when you're looking at these long time frames, right? This is different than if you're trading something on the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 5 hour, whatever. This is for long-term outlooks, right? You don't miss the forest for the trees. When I'm bearish on this live stream, most of the time it's not referring to the long term, right? Unless you guys were here in the beginning of the bear market, or in the beginning. Well, I didn't have my channel back here, but for the most part, right? If I come on here and you guys see a bearish thumbnail that I put out, it's typically looking more bearish on the medium hourly time frames, right? The 2 to the 4 hour is more what I'm talking about. So we don't really talk about the macro too much on this channel, or the long-term time frames on this channel. And with that monthly green dot, that 2 week green dot, with the money flow also coming up on the 2 week here, it could potentially give us more upside. So just keep an eye on that. And again, we've been talking about moves down for so long. I kind of want to show the opposite side of the coin because it definitely is possible. So let's continue on here, right? Weekly money flow also crossing over into the green. This is a long-term bullish signal. We look at this all the time on the channel. At the end of the bear market, oftentimes you will play around with the money flow on the weekly, but for the most part, once you get that first money flow crossover into the green, most of the pain of the bear market is over. The bottom is in, and you guys can see here that first technical money flow crossover into the green is really right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but then we got a second one. We went back into the red, and now we're getting a third money flow crossover into the green. So as long as we can maintain that money flow in the green, it could be pointing to the upside, right? Now, again, pressing that this takes time to play out. This does not mean go long on Bitcoin right this second, right? But it's just kind of projecting out in the long term, kind of where we are, not only in the cycle, just in the cycle, right? Or just in the kind of time frame of this bear market. So again, these higher time frames are definitely pointing to the upside, right? Especially like from the weekly, 2-week, and all the way through the monthly, isn't looking that bad. But even coming down to some of the lower daily time frames, fresh green dot on the 4-day. Now, this wouldn't really be like a macro bullish signal, but it is a little bit longer term. Money flow, I would like to see come up a bit more here. 3-day money flow starting to tick up. I'd like to see this come up a bit more as well. You got a fresh green dot. So this is now, rather than being in like the long term, more kind of like the medium term. Money flow on your 2-day kind of coming out here. That does not look the best. But again, remember what I said. With that monthly green dot, you could easily see more downside, right? And if we went down to 19K, look how bearish this is going to look, guys. If we get a move down to this golden pocket or this 786 down here at 19K, everybody and their grandma is going to be calling for a 2K Bitcoin. If crypto's dead, and, that's kind of one of the biggest buy signals, right? I forget who said it. Somebody said that, sometimes, like when you're buying, right? And this is so true. The reason I bring this up is because it's true for myself as well. Every time that I have bought a bottom, like to the dollar, not really to the dollar, I'm exaggerating, but like anytime I really snipe the bottom of something as far as long-term investments, or I sell the top of something, right? I've sold the top of things. I've also bought the top of things, right? I'm not perfect, but anytime like I sold the top of eChain, and I felt like a moron. I felt like an absolute idiot selling my VeChain, thinking this thing's going to go to $3. Like, right, you got the bull market's going on. Everybody's screaming for Bitcoin to go to $1 bazillion. And I felt like an idiot. I'm looking at the chart and I'm like, I'm going to sell this. And I did. I felt like an idiot because everybody is mega bullish at that point in the market. And I felt like I was just going against everybody else. And I'm like, am I the only person who sees this? And I just want to kind of hammer that home, right? When I sold the top of VeChain, I felt like a moron. Right? And anytime I've bought the bottom of a dip, I felt like an idiot. I'm like, I'm probably going to buy this. It's going to nuke again, right? And then it winds up going up. So just understand, when everyone's calling for crypto to be, crypto's dead, and you're over here buying, thinking like, oh God, people are saying crypto's dead. I'm probably buying the top here. Oh my God. Typically, it doesn't feel good to sell the top or buy the bottom. So just understand that. So if you feel like an idiot and you're like, oh God, everyone else is screaming it's going to zero, but I'm going to buy it, you're probably on the right side of the coin. Not financial advice. But imagine if we got that move down to the 786, guys, things are going to get bearish on Twitter. People's thumbnails are going to be going crazy. Can Bitcoin hit 2K? Oh my God. But all we're doing is sticking to the charts. There's no hype. There's no emotion. There's no just like random emotional leaning bias for no reason, right? We're just simply looking at the charts. And if we come down to the 786, why would we be sitting here saying it's going to zero, right? Nothing has really happened. We just came down for a retracement. So I just kind of wanted to talk about this. And just kind of like, zoom out, because again, we don't do it very often, and I know it's been pretty bearish, right? Because again, my general sentiment right now is we did come up, and we're on a different chart. I'm like, why is this volume profile all wonked out? But the reason why we were looking for this big move up and a reversal to the downside, we've been pretty bearish on the channel for a little bit, just waiting for that liquidity grab for more downside. But I just kind of want to, keep in mind that I want you guys to keep in mind that I'm not just like calling for zero for no reason here. In the long term, actually, like the monthly looks pretty good if we can confirm that green dot. Obviously, it has to confirm, right? It can disappear, and we could wind up coming down to lower prices and break the all-time lows. Well, not all-time lows, but the bear market lows, right? Now, I think that's very unlikely. I really do think that's very unlikely without some kind of crazy outside force or some kind of crazy black swan event. But like even then, I think at this point, if we see some kind of crazy black swan, I feel like it could be a positive black swan event. Right? Like it could almost like maybe be bearish for everything else, but like really good for crypto, right? It's kind of like the when the banks were having issues and the banks were going insolvent, right? Like that's kind of like a black swan event in general, but it wound up being really bullish for crypto, right? Not for bank stocks, but for crypto, it wound up being pretty bullish. So I don't think the yearly low or the bear market lows will get broken, but understand, obviously anything can happen, but I'm not going to be freaking out if we start coming down to these lower levels. And speaking of those lower levels, we'll get to those in a second, but I want to talk about what if we do get a move to the upside, right? And then we'll talk about kind of, again, if we do get that move to the upside, obviously, I don't think we're just going to rip up like this. So we'll talk about the levels of resistance to the upside. I'll talk about kind of what I think price action will look like before we get to those highs. Are we going to get a dip down to the bottom of the range? Are we going to come lower, et cetera, et cetera? I want to break down kind of what I'm looking at and kind of how I'm planning and kind of just playing these charts right now. And then we'll take a look at those lower prices if we do get a bigger breakdown, those lower prices that we looked at just a little bit earlier. So with that monthly green dot, with the money flow in the green on the weekly, if we were, again, I at this point don't think it's as likely, but definitely possible to break these highs. So what happens if we do wind up breaking those highs? Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the more macro levels. Now, I don't know. They moved the object tree, guys. It used to be all the way down here, and then today they wound up putting it up here. They keep moving stuff around on me. Shout out to TradingView. It is much more convenient for it to be up here, though. That is for dang sure. I've actually thought about if they were ever going to move that up there. Makes a lot of sense. TradingView, that was a W move on your point, on your end. I mean, coming down here to hit that object tree was getting frustrating. But anyway, let's go ahead and let me see. Do we have it on the macro levels? Potentially. Okay. What is it? Okay. So I'll just take these levels, right? Now, if we come up from here, obviously, we're going to have some more local resistance levels up in this value area. And let me just go ahead and mark this value area low. And let me go ahead and label it. Previous value area low, right? So if we continue up, we are likely, right now, we are kind of tapping on this very, very key level, which could open up for more upside with the thought that we could break past this value area high. But that's not what I want to look at right now. What I want to look at is above these yearly highs. Now, here's the thing. If we continue up, right, number one, most major resistance level I'm going to be looking at will be, once again, this value area high sitting at about 31.4. And that's going to be key resistance, right? Because once we get up here, we will now be within our value area. POC would be expected to get visited. And then if we get above there, the next major level of resistance is that value area high. But again, in this situation, we're looking at a break of those yearly highs. So let's say that monthly, the weekly, all these things we just looked at wound up giving us a push to the upside above these yearly highs. Where can we look for moves down? Well, number one, what I would be looking at is, again, right where this value area came from is from this area of consolidation back here. So naturally, what I want to do here, how would we be treating this range, guys? If we were looking at this range and this was the current price action, what would we be looking for? Or what were we looking for when we were inside of here? If you guys were watching the channel back then, well, I would be looking for a break of the value area high, potential bearish confirmations for a potential revisit back into the range. And if we do get that, what we want to watch is these wicks. You want to watch these wicks that are above this value area. So naturally, what I would be looking for is if you guys watched my swing failure strategy tutorial that came out on our Sunday Sauce video this weekend. If you have not seen that, we got crazy good feedback. A lot of people saying it's like one of the most educational videos they've watched when it comes to trading. So if you have not seen that, go check it out. But in that video, I talk about when you're looking for swing failure points, what you want to look for is the most extreme high and the most extreme low within your area of consolidation. And for this specific scenario, we would be looking at this wick right here, which is coming in at about 32.6. Now, not only that, we could easily swing fail some of these other wicks from up here. So let me just mark those out. And when you get price to look like this, and again, if you want to learn more about this, we talk about this in the tutorial video. But when you get this, you wind up, this is kind of what I like to look at as like a liquidity zone, right? Because obviously you're looking for swing failures on these levels. But when you have all these levels kind of really close to each other, what I like to do is I kind of group them with a box, right? I'll group them with like a purple box. Let me grab my magnet off. Grab that purple box, and now we know that we have a zone in here, because I don't know if we're going to swing fail this wick or this wick or this wick, but if we come up here, we could start to look for those confirmations on inside of this purple box, right? We know this is likely going to be a place that if we come up in there, we're likely going to get a rejection. And you can see here, it even played out right here. This rejection, not only were we looking at this in the premium Discord for a short for many reasons. You're at the value area high. You have bearish divergences forming, multiple drives of bearish divergence forming. You have multiple higher highs, multiple lower highs into that key level of resistance, which is your value area high. And you wicked up and swing failed that first wick that was outside of that previous value area. So what happened? You literally came up, tapped that purple box, and then an absolute nuke show down back to 25K. So you can see how powerful this is, and there's actually one more confluence within this area, or close confluence. Not only do you have another key level to watch here is this point of control at about 34,353, but that's a little bit higher up. I don't know if we're going to get all the way up there, before we get a local rejection. But what I would be looking at is this golden pocket. So if I go ahead, let me grab that magnet tool so I can get it to the dollar, all the way to the low. And then I click here, extend lines to the right. Look at that confluence, guys. Not only do you have this liquidity zone sitting here where it's likely to swing fail like we did right here, but you also could extend this box up to that golden pocket. So there's even more confluence within this purple liquidity zone to look for shorts, right? So if we, and this zone is really between 31,769 all the way up to about 33,377. These are key levels, guys. So if we get up there, I will be looking for shorts within this purple box, understanding that POC is sitting up here at about 34,400. So what can we do with this information? Well, what we could do is if we do wind up getting that pump and we get that push all the way up here and we get that bing bong up through this value area, we fill this whole range, and then we break out, right? Well, what happens if we swing fail that super high wick right here? That magnet tool's going nuts. If we swing fail that wick right here, what if we get a big wick, right? Big wick. You know, you guys are familiar with big wicks, right? Anyway, if you get a pop above that key level and you get that big wick, you have that POC above you at 34K. That could give you a potential extra backstop to get pushed down from, right? So even if you don't get your bearish confirmations within your purple box, or you don't get one of those swing failures, if you break out of that purple box, you know that you have that key level of resistance right here. So that would be another key level to watch. So the POC, again, at 34,460, and then you have that purple box sitting right here between, let me grab it, between, come on, there we go, oh, come on with this, come on, between 33,416 and 31,745. These are the next key levels above us, guys. And again, obviously you have this value area within here, but you know we'll talk about that. We're kind of knocking on the door here. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at. If we get another big move to the upside, and you know, just sitting on the charts today, looking at that 2-week time frame, I'm looking at it and I'm like, listen, I mean, you got the money flow coming up on the 2-week, you got the fresh green dot on top of the monthly green dot. If these things confirm, guys, there is a chance that we could potentially break that yearly high. Again, at this moment, right now, today, I still don't see it being very likely that we break those yearly highs. But I will be the first person to tell you that that is not a 100% guarantee, and there is totally a possibility that we can break those yearly highs. Weirder things have happened, right? But just so you guys know my general sentiment personally, until we start holding some of these until we flip this key level at 30, this key POC, sitting at about 30,170, I'm not really going to be looking to break those yearly highs. Now, here's another reason, if you needed one, to potentially see price come up there. And this is going to kind of break into our local TA while I bring this up. I want to bring up the liquidation heat map real quick. And I really want to talk about this, guys. So let me hide these macro levels, and I kind of want to break down. Actually, let me go ahead and let me move this all into our macro folder, and then I will go ahead and hide it. Okay, so here's the thing. Coming down to the 12-hour, right? Very similarly, if you guys watch the live stream, you will know that basically the reason we were expecting a push up here. Now, here's the thing. I said this last night on the live stream, guys. I was kind of feeling crazy, calling for those higher prices. We've mentioned 30,400, 30,600, and this value area high at about 29.3, saying, hey, we held that value area low as support. I'm holding my long, right? I am looking for price to get to the POC, break above the POC, flip it to support, and then get a move up to the value area high. And we saw price do exactly that. But it wasn't just the value area high sitting here that was making me think that price could push up towards these levels. It was also the idea, and I actually found the live stream clip of me talking about it. I actually talked about it for a few days in a row. What we were looking for here was not only a revisit of the value area high, but also we were looking for price to come up, and let me go ahead and pull up the Bybit chart actually real quick. We were actually looking for price to potentially, Mrs. Campbell's just coming in and stealing the phone. You don't even show a hand? Oh, she's not having it. She's not having it. But not only were we looking to get to that value area high, guys, but we were also looking to potentially have a wick come up and stop out all the shorts that were short from above these highs, right? You have people short here, people short here, people short here. What can we take away from that? Well, likely all their stop losses from all those shorts are sitting somewhere above those highs, right? Giving us a pocket of liquidity, right? Or just money in the market. Get rid of that because I don't want you guys to be sitting there, you know what I mean. Anyway, now just like we were looking at on the higher time frames, guys, again, grabbing those horizontal rays, I want to show you. We have this wick here, right? Or this one was a little bit higher. We have this wick here. We have this wick here, and we have this wick here, giving us that same liquidity zone, right, that I called it. Turn off the magnet tool. We have that same purple box, right? That area where we know there's a lot of liquidity sitting, and obviously we stopped out the people that were short from here, and we got that wick up to... Oh, this is the Bitstamp chart. Well, same theory applies, but just on the Bybit chart, you get those leveraged liquidations. Yeah, there we go, right? So you know, right? Same thing. Same exact theory. You have this wick here. You have the wick. Let me turn on the lock tool so we can do this quickly. You got the wick here. You got the wick here. And you also have the wick here, right? So when you have a bunch of swing failure wicks, even one right here, this is an area where there is a lot of people who are short, right? People are likely short from these highs, and their stop losses are likely above. And what happens, and we were looking for this, literally, not only were we looking for price to revisit the value area high, the macro value area high, because that's how the volume profiles behave, right? Looking for a revisit of that value area high once you hold the value area low as support, right? But you know that all these people are short with their stop losses sitting above, and we know that this could be an area to look for shorts. And what happened was price came right up, and literally, we were looking for 30,400, and the reason for that was because we talked about this, was the wick up here, right, at 30,004, and I literally think, I'm almost positive that I said, and this isn't about being right? The reason I'm showing you this is because we saw exactly what we were looking for happen, and we were also looking for a slight wick above these levels. Potentially, I was looking for 30,600. Where'd we actually wick to? Where's the high of this candle? 30,640, but we were looking for a potential wick up to about 30,600 to clear out those liquidations and then reverse price back to the downside. And that was literally visible on the liquidation heat map, right? And I'll pull it up right now, which will obviously, it will look very different because we have already cleared the liquidity. But if I go ahead and pull this up here, guys, you can see right above this high, specifically right here. We looked at this live on the stream. Between about 30,000 and 30,000, where's this box here? About 30,900, right? You could see you have this hot block of liquidations, right? And it would be more visible on a lower time frame, but we're here on the 6 month, and it would be a little bit hotter or more greenish yellow if we were on a lower time frame. But you could see this little pocket of highlighted bars is letting us know that there are people who will get liquidated if price comes up to this level. And what happened? The wick came up, grabbed that liquidity, and then yeeted right back to the downside, exactly as we were looking for. Now, we're actually in a very similar situation here, right here, with this liquidations levels sitting between about 31.8 and about 33.3, right? Is that shockingly familiar? Are those levels not shockingly familiar to what we were just looking at above these highs? 30,000, what was it, 33.3, right? I could pull it up again. Let's go back to Bitstamp. I mean, they're not going to hit right on the nose or anything, but when you have confluence like that, right up here, 31,000 all the way up to 30. Actually, it's way closer than I thought. So up to about 30,000. What is it? 30,400. Pull back up that liquidation heat map. 31.8 all the way up to 33.6, right? So 33.6, yeah, sitting right here. Literally, that's the liquidation heat map, right? This purple box. So if we come up, we could have a similar situation where you get a big wick up before the reversal to the downside. And if we get a further move up, guys, that's going to be the key levels of resistance that I'm looking at for a short. For the exact same reason we were looking at these levels for what we just looked at for the big wick up and the big reversal here. And this is something we talk about on the live stream multiple times, right? So I just want you guys to understand it wasn't just the, and even if you were just looking at the volume profiles, guys, you hold the lowest support, you bing bong to the POC, flip it to support, you go to the value area high. So even if you weren't looking at the liquidation heat map, you would have still done well by understanding the volume profiles, which is why I teach them so much. But then once you start adding the liquidity theory and the fact that liquidity typically acts as a magnet as well, you can really, really, really start to snipe these markets. And it's obviously a very lucrative skill to have. And I'm blessed to be able to share it with you guys. So let me go ahead and pop back up into chat. This is what we are looking at, guys. And I'll wrap it up with this before we take a look at the local price action and what I'm looking for to happen in the short term. Like, are we just going to yeet up there? Are we going to make it up there? Are we going to get a big move down? Are we going to pump from here? And I want to talk about that. But real quick, guys, I really want to hammer this home because I really do think that the biggest threat to the candle mafia and your gains is going to be, and now I'm talking specifically in the bull market, the biggest threat that you guys will have is the blurriness and the murkiness of noise on the internet and emotional people who do not understand how this market works, just randomly shouting price predictions for any random reason, right? And I want you guys to understand why price actually moves and not so you don't get tricked by these people, right? And I'm not saying everybody's out there trying to trick you, although I know some of them probably are, but I want you guys to be safe and understand how these markets actually work so you can actually make money and not buy the top and sell the bottom like most people do, especially when they're new to crypto. So with that being said, remember, when I felt crazy when we were sitting down here bing-bonging around, I'm thinking, I don't know how likely it is we get up there. I kind of feel crazy looking for prices up here. But what happened? We wound up calling it almost to the dollar. And the reason I felt crazy was because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, what is going to get price up there fundamentally, right? Like, what is going to be the thing that causes this random pump for some reason to get up there? I knew it was possible based off the charts, but what I'm trying to think, like, is there anything coming up that could possibly indicate that we'd get that move up? And there was nothing, guys. There was really nothing. But what happens? Fake news. They just make up a story to manipulate the price to get it up there. This was 100% market manipulation. Now, I can't guarantee that, right? So it's 100% is kind of an exaggeration, but this was definitely market manipulation, right? We were looking for the liquidity to get swept, and there was no story. So what happened? The intern fat-fingered the keyboard, and the price just rips out to the upside. So you show me the charts, and I will tell you the news. If you are trading the news, at least in crypto, you are likely going to be too late. If you bought and tried to long on the release of that news, you would have bought the top and got wrecked. But what did we do? We were here longing while everybody else was scared. And we got to long the bottom and ride it all the way up to the top. And I like to try to teach this to you guys every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's it for the rant, guys. We'll get into the local analysis in just a second. But let me say what's up to chat, because that was quite the rant without checking chat. I'm feeling like separation anxiety from you guys. Okay. Shout out to Tyler Durden. I look at chat. The first thing I see is alarms. I'm just going to tell you right now, Tyler, if that chat says that the mic was muted, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, no, it was a question. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Ian asks, could you explain the confluence thingy in detail a little bit? Shout out to Tyler Durden, and shout out to Ian. Is that like Ryan, but Ian? I don't know. But shout out to you, man. The confluence thing, I guess he was talking about on the higher time frames. All I mean by confluence, let me go ahead and pull those levels back up. All I mean is there are multiple reasons to be looking for a rejection in here. Not only do you have these wicks up here, which are likely to be resistance, but you also have a golden pocket. Those are in confluence, right? They are in agreement with each other. Just adding confidence, different than confluence, but adding confidence to a potential rejection at this level, right? So if this golden pocket was not in this purple box, we would have no confluence, right? So all I mean by confluence is the fact that there are multiple things within this area that are all agreeing with themselves to potentially get that, have a strong level, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps you out, bro. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah. Daddy's home says 99.9 plus 1%. Manipulation. Yeah, definitely manipulation. But it doesn't mean that we can't get a move to the upside. So let's go ahead and dig into the local analysis, guys. And I want to talk about kind of what I expect price action to look like locally. Now, here's the thing, right? I can't tell you what the price action is going to look like, even if we get it right. Like, sure. I've been long from down here. We've been looking for a move to the value area high. Were we able to guess exactly where, exactly what this kind of price action would look like? No. It could have gone like this. It could have gone a million different ways, right? We could have came back down here, got a big pump back here, and gone like that, right? It's impossible to call what the price action will look like, but that's why you want to trust your TA and not get confused by the noise in the market or the noise in the market. You just want to stick to your plan, right? But shout out to Hannah King. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Shout out to Hannah King, the princess of the Candle Mafia. Throw the tiaras in chat. Show Hannah King your love. Shout out to Hannah. Let's go. Shout out to Hannah King. So here's the thing, right? Yeah. Oh, shout. Who said it? Wolf of Crypto said, I think we're going to get the same thing to the longs getting liquidated. And I want to talk about that, right? Because here we are. Let's see what happens, right? Now, this is kind of what I would be looking at in the short term, guys. Now, taking a look at Market Cipher B, we are back in the red with the money flow. That is a little bit more bearish. However, it could be a fake out potentially with the VWAP coming up. Let me extend this volume profile. Actually, let's come over to the Bitstamp chart. Bada boom. Come on. I mean, not the Bitstamp chart, the Bybit chart. Let's go ahead and pull up the local analysis. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing, right? Okay. And let me go ahead and hide all of this or delete it, actually. So what are we looking at now? So what I would really be looking at, guys, is, as you know, we've been looking at this range for quite some time now. These are going to be the more, these are kind of turning into like more longer term levels, right? Because we're now developing new levels below us, and we're going to take a look at exo charts real quick to take a look at some of those levels. But here's the thing, right? If we wind up, right, 4-hour money flow coming out, VWAP coming up. Remember yesterday's live stream, we were talking about looking for a potential retracement, which we did wind up getting. What was yesterday? The 17th. Yeah, we did wind up getting that retracement right here, but we didn't really come up to the key levels we were looking at, right? We were looking for a potential pump here into the value area high to then get a correction to the downside, potentially putting in some bearish divergences just like that. Now, I want to talk about the levels underneath us. Now, number one, key level is going to be the 28K POC, right? Which is now, this is actually slightly moved. Let me get the one that we've actually been looking at, which is, dang near 28K, right? Right about here. So this is your somewhat macro POC. This is going to be a key level, right? Because remember, when you're getting the noise, when you get the noise off the charts, take the noise off the charts. What are we looking at? You're simply within a volume profile. You tap the high, you could be on the way to the POC. If you lose this POC, it's going to be a clear indication that we could get more downside where we have some really, really saucy levels to look for some long positions. Now, level number one, 28K POC. On top of that, if we pull this local Fibonacci retracement level, look at that. Shout out to Ian. This is, again, confluent with our local golden pocket retracement. POC, golden pocket, right? Sitting right there. Whoops. Sitting right there. We'll turn it. Come on. Should we do local golden pocket? Should we make it gold for an LGP? There we go. So you got the POC, you got the golden pocket, and then your 786 is coming here at about 27.4. That is going to be a level that you want to keep an eye on as well. So we'll mark that out, 786. So these are going to be some local key levels to the downside, right? And let me go ahead and pull this volume profile. Okay. Yeah, and that 786 is also a local value area low, right? Just giving it extra confluence. So there you go. These are some key levels I would be looking at to the downside if this dump continues. And what I want to do here, guys, is I'm going to pull up XO charts very, very quickly just to simply, actually, you know what we can do? I'll pull up the trading view. Maybe I'll make a video about this for the Sunday sauce this week, guys. And that's going to be the TPO indicator that I use on trading view, right? Because as you guys know, you can look at your TPO chart on exo charts, right? Obviously, something like this. But there actually is a TPO indicator on TradingView, which I've actually found somewhat useful. So down here, you do have some single prints sitting at 27,642 all the way down to about 27,299. I do cross-reference this with exo charts. I just don't trust these indicators as much as I trust the exo charts. But again, 27.6 all the way down to about 27.3. Let's see if that is, about 27.3 to about 27.6. So this is pretty, that TradingView indicator is pretty dang good. So something you want to realize here is not only do you have the single prints, which I guess are marked out pretty well here. So I'll just leave those there. But not only that, but you also have your also have a previous value area low sitting at almost at the very top of those single prints, coming in at 27,647, right? 27,6 right here, right? So you also have an untapped, you also have an untapped, a UT value area low, right? I believe. Yeah, you also have an untapped value area low in perfect confluence with the single prints, right? So this is going to be a saucy level. Guys, we're giving away some extra sauce here. This is a little bit of extra sauce. But I was just feeling a little spunky today, so I wanted to go ahead and drop a little extra sauce here today. But let me turn off that indicator just so we don't get all confused with all these levels and stuff. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to. I guess we'll get rid of both of them. Boom, right? So these are our key levels underneath us. Now, I am still in my short position as we are getting a little tiny pop to the upside. But here's the thing. Mrs. Candles. Sad face. Oh, Mrs. Can't at least show some hand to me. Come on. Come on. Bring it a little closer. Bring it near the schnoz. Come on. Oh, baby. Smelling good today. Smelling good. What is this? I need that. Oh, boy. This is... okay, I'm going to have to help you after. All right. Shout out to Mrs. Candle's hand. Oh, God. Good thing we weren't talking about her birthday present. But, guys, let me go ahead and let's go ahead and continue on here. The hands kill me in chat, yo. Unbelievable. We are on fire, guys. I am sweating. We're giving the key levels. I don't want to talk to the hand. Shout out to Astro Zombie. I see you, bro. But these are some of the key levels I'm looking at, and I am still in my short position from entry sitting at about, let's see here. Entry is sitting at 26. Where is it? 26. What am I saying? Oh, that's my long. I'm like, wait, what is going on right now? That's on Femex. This is on BingX. Let me see. Where is that entry? Up about 18%, 28, basically right up here from the value area high. So I am in a scalp short here. I will be looking to close a majority of that once we get down to the untapped value area low / single prints. So once we get a move, if we get it all the way down there, I will be looking to close that trade, or at least a good portion of the trade. I also have multiple TPs. I have some other TPs within here. But again, once we get down to those single prints, if we don't start to get a big move down through those single prints, and even if we do, these are kind of the levels that I'm looking to ride this short down into, right? Because if we get down below these levels, this is kind of where the serious support starts to come in. What price is this? 27,400. And yeah, you can see here the bottom of the single print's at 27.3. So once you get down to like 27.3, 27.4, the support starts to kick in, and then you have some untapped naked volume end time point of controls down here, which I don't think we're going to get down there today, so we won't get into that. But these are going to be the local levels I'm looking at, guys. If the move down continues, these are some key levels I'm looking at for bounces and potentially to take some more profit on my short position. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at in the short term for Bitcoin. And again, just hiding the TA and zooming out a little bit here. Yeah, significant liquidity grab here, guys. I would find it a little less likely to just rip up from here, right? We also, on top of that, I haven't even gotten into the super basic stuff, which I saw Darren Does Things. I wouldn't say super basic, but I saw Darren Does Things mention a divergence on the daily time frame. And, for a lot of people, I know a lot of people are out there and you're learning TA, and I love the divergences because of how simple they are to spot on the charts. Now, it doesn't make it easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Trading is anything other than easy. It's one of the hardest things you can do. But Look at this, right? This is another reason why I just don't think that if we do get a push up, I'm not looking for this thing to just absolutely start ripping. If it does, I'm prepared for a short position. But I do think it's a little more likely here with the way the higher time frames are looking, the higher hourly and daily time frames could be potentially putting in a bearish divergence here on the daily. Right, into the value area. Well, not that it's confirmed or printing here, but you have daily bearish divergence at the high of your range, right? You have to get that red dot to print. But again, money flow in the green is a longer-term bullish scenario. But again, even if we continue up here, which I think is possible, VWAP is coming down on the daily with a bear div. A cool-off is probably going to be statistically more likely to happen first. So coming on down to your 16-hour, you're seeing something very, very, very similar. You're just a little closer to actually printing this. Is that 16-hour bear div? And if you guys are wondering how powerful a daily bear div or a 16-hour bear div can be, stick around for the next 5 minutes, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the altcoins, starting off with Loom, who actually got it'll show you. Loom will let you know how dangerous a daily bearish divergence can be. Granted, I'm not expecting Bitcoin to play out in the same way, but I just kind of want to put it into perspective how strong these divergences can be on a time frame as high as the daily. Shout out to Golden. Shout out to you, bro. It's really funny. The super chats and the gifting, like that little, it flashes. I could catch it out of the corner of my eye. And those golden emojis. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for gifting those 20 Frankie Candles and memberships. Mrs. Candles back at it again. Ooh. But shout out to Golden. Thank you for gifting those 20 Frankie Candles memberships. And what do you hear? Mrs. Candles acting a little bit weird. Okay, Miss Candles claims she's doing important things, but she's just stealing all my electronics. What, this? Oh, she wants the not Aztecian cactus moss water she brought me yesterday. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles, how was your birthday? The Mafia wants to know. Did you enjoy it? What? Oh, I'm so nice. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. She said, I had a great time. Frank's so nice. It sounds like I'm lying. That is actually what she said. But anyway, guys, 16-hour bearish divergence, much closer to printing here. Your 12-hour bearish divergence also getting very close to printing. Got about an hour and 16 minutes left on both of these for both of these candles to print. 10-hour red dot has been confirmed. Money flow coming out. So again, these things, although we could get a push up locally, even if we crack this trend line, I do think that it is more likely, if you're waiting for that move to the downside, maybe sit and wait for that daily red dot to give you at least the confirmation that the div is printing, and that could kind of be your signal to say, hey, we're probably going to get this move down. But I would be careful up until then, right? Because you got the VWAP on your 4-hour coming up. You also have your 2-hour green dot looking to print. Money flow still generally trending down, but I don't know if this is going to be the best entry into a short, because what's happening locally, guys? What is happening locally is we are simply at the bottom of our range, right? You don't want to short support, right? You would wait for that retracement before finding a better entry, and then look for the entry at higher prices, or at least look to short at resistance. So, and again, if you wait for that daily or even the 12 and 16-hour bear divs to print, you'll have a much higher success rate looking for those short positions at that time, rather than just trying to short right now and then go on the ride for the retracement, right? So there you go. That's it, guys. That's a local price action I'm looking for. Maybe a potential push up, but if we do come down, now you guys have those key levels to look at. And that's basically what we're looking at, not only in the long term, but the super long term, the medium term, and the short term. So there you go, guys. Shout out to the CandleMafia, and shout out to Bitcoin for doing something finally. I'm hype. Bitcoin's moving, or it probably will stay sideways for another few months now because we got that move. But hey, it's exciting. Shout out to Chemistry Bro, said Frankie on fire as usual. Shout out to Chem Bro. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here, and thank you for everything you do for the channel. I'm feeling saucy tonight. We got the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water, a new flavor called the Candles Vibe. And I'm liking it, guys. I'm liking it. But let's go ahead and see. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Dave. Maybe not. I don't know. Shout out to you. But guys, it's about that time. We ran a little long on Bitcoin, but I wanted to spit a little extra sauce for you guys. And I really wanted to, I think I might make this a pre-record on this weekend. Really want to break down what we were looking for here, because we saw it play out perfectly. And a lot of people laugh at technical analysts when they say, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. But this is perfect example, excuse me, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. But we've been sitting, and not only that, guys, obviously we go over more stuff like this in the premium Discord. There were also some very, very key levels. We had some high time frame naked points of control sitting up here, making it even more likely, believe it or not, to get that level visited. But if you guys are interested in checking out that premium Discord, where we go even deeper into more advanced techniques like this, as well as full exo chart breakdowns and strategies that we go over in the premium Discord, as well as spoon-fed trade setups and updates on my actual current positions, take profits, all that good stuff, and just random general TA once in a while. You can check out the premium Discord or the kitchen, as I like to call it. But go ahead and spam those altcoins in the chat right now. If you guys want to see me look at your altcoins, spam them in chat right now. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And until that is all ready to go, let's go ahead and Ian said, I got to watch this again. Today's class was really good, Frankie. Shout out to Ian. That is makes me the happiest person in the world to hear that. Because if I can help you see this stuff happen before it actually moves, and you could take advantage of that, and you let me know, hey, Frankie, I took what you taught me and I made some money. This is why I do this. This is why I'm here every day. This is why I work so hard, is because of the messages that I get almost every day saying, Frankie, if it's not, hey, you help me make a lot of money, it's, hey, you taught me something and you're helping me on my crypto journey, and that's why I'm here, and it will never change. That is my only focus, and you guys can count on that and take that to the bank any day of the week. So let's go ahead and move on here. Shout out to Wolfo Crypto, said, I call BS on YouTube. Golden has bought more memberships than subscribers. This is for Golden, not you, Frankie. Golden, we love you. Shout out to Wolfman. Wait, did I say Wolfo Crypto? Wolfman, eat my crypto. We got a lot of wolves in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to Wolfman, eat my crypto. Thank you so much for that super chat, and I know Golden appreciates it. Yeah, I think we should start our own little tip bucket for Golden. Like, he gets memberships, he gets a tip from the Mafia. Shout out Creighton C. Is that an apple or a tomato? I think it's an apple. Shout out to Creighton C. I assume that is because class is dismissed. Shout out to Creighton, bro. I was thinking about you guys yesterday, and it will just never cease to blow my mind. Not only that I am lucky enough to be able to come up here and do this as my job every single day. I will never take that for granted. I am the luckiest person in the world to be able to do this. And just another thing, shout out to you guys. I really want to thank you guys, because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Creighton C, Golden, Hannah, Cheeks, Crypto and Yogurt, everybody who super chats. It's like, I can't believe that there's people out there and they just appreciate what I do, and they send these super chats, and it's like their own hard-earned money, and it just I really had a kind of a moment of reflection last night. I can't believe I feel so lucky to be in the position I am, and you guys are so generous with the super chats and the gifting the memberships and just showing up and hitting the like button, which, by the way, smash that like button. 550 likes, I'm giving away $100 of XRP. I'll do it tonight too. I won't even wait till Friday. I'll give away the $100 in XRP, and we'll spin the wheel 20 times. But I just feel so lucky that you guys support me like you do, and it doesn't ever go unnoticed. I know I say thank you all the time on stream, but I just want you guys to know that this never goes unnoticed, and it's why I like to provide as much free value as possible. So just shout out to everybody who supports the channel. You guys are the absolute best. Even people who are using the affiliate links, which isn't directly forking over money or anything. It just, the support is unreal, and I seriously am the luckiest. I feel like the luckiest guy on earth. So shout out to you guys, for real, Mafia. You guys are the absolute best. So with that being said, guys, I want to break down Loom really quickly while Rob the Crypto Snob is counting up the votes, and counting up the votes and letting us know what altcoins to look at, guys. Oh no, Loom is in the gutter, baby. Loom is in the gutter. So real quick, guys, let me go ahead and I'll just hide all this TA really quickly, and let's see. Amazing group of people. The CandleMafia is something special. Shout out to Bean Trader. Shout out to you. You must be out there trading soybeans. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, absolutely. This is an absolute special. It's a special community. I have other creators tell me that. They're like, man, that Mafia you got, bro, there's something else. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel lucky. I don't know where you guys came from. I don't know how you guys found me. But I truly do feel like the luckiest person in the world to have the community that I do. And it really shows the strength of the community after, a lot of stuff has happened this year. But shout out to Chemistry Bro. Said, Frankie Candles alt in my next chat. Pin it. Shout out to Chem Bro. Thank you so much for that, bro. It is now pinned. Thank you for your service. Shout out to you guys. And shout out to the mods especially, guys. The mods give in their time. They do this out of the kindness of their heart and their love for the Candle Mafia, and maybe me. I like to think so. Anyway, shout out to the mods. You guys are absolutely selfless. You're always looking to help out more. I mean, seriously, like, they're always reaching out. Hey, anything extra I can do? Like, the best people. I don't know how I got lucky enough to find you guys. But with that being said, let me get back to you guys and give you a little bit of sauce here on the charts. But let's see here, right? Loom. Absolute nuke show. So let's go ahead. Here's a funny thing, guys. Somebody count every stream from now on. Count how many times when I go over to this the side here, how many times I go down here to click on the object tree before finding it back up here. Shout out to Hannah King. Speaking of amazing community members, shout out to Hannah King with the Frankie Candles gifted membership. Let's go. And shout out to Jerval. Almeida. Not Alameda, hopefully. Shout out to you, bro. Welcome to the Candle Mafia. Let's get it. But here we are, guys. Let me go ahead and hide all this nonsense. And come on. What is going on? There we go. Okay, so, guys, you wanted to know how strong a bearish divergence on the daily could be. Here you go. Bada boom. You got higher highs on your price action. And we talked about this on the live stream before the dump. And I actually... Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Now, I did actually catch a short on Loom, but it was a scalp short at like 11:30 at night. It was actually this dump right here, I believe. I caught that short, and then it absolutely ripped again. Let me see. Oh, no, it was this short, and then it absolutely ripped again. But really what we were looking at on the live stream, and I actually said the same thing that I just said about Bitcoin to you guys, is if you're looking for a short position on something and you have high time frame bear divs printing, you don't just want to short like as soon as it starts forming, right? Or you might not want to short on a lower time frame. You want to wait for the daily bear div or even that 16 or the 12 hour. This is like a very similar situation, right? Where's that bear div print on the 12 hour? Right here, right? If you guys are ready for class, we'll just do a little bit of extra credit right now. So price was creeping up, right? When you see price moving like this does not go on forever. And typically when you get the correction, it'll correct hard, especially if you have the confirmations on Market Cipher B or Lux Algo, whatever you're looking at. I'll actually pull Lux Algo up real quick here, just alongside Market Cipher, because I can almost guarantee you that Lux Algo called this as well. We'll just flip back and forth. But this is what we were looking at on Loom, guys. We were looking at the lower highs on the momentum waves, right? Higher highs on price action, potential bear div looking to print. Not only that, you see the VWAP curving to the downside, letting you know that that red dot is likely to print. And at this point, your bias is short, right? Your bias is you're sitting here saying, hey, this thing's not going to go up forever. I'm going to start looking for shorts, but you might not want to, coming down to the 10 hour or the 12 hour, no bear div yet. 16 hour is starting to print, but you don't, you had a lot of bear divs printing here on the lower time frames. But what I like to do is wait for at least the 12 or 16 hour to start printing before going down to a lower time frame and finding an entry. And then what happens? 12 hour starts to print it. Now you could come down to a lower time frame, try to find your entry. I'm not going to go super into how to find the entries right this second, but you go down to a lower time frame, find your entry, understanding that not only is your 16-hour and 12-hour bear div printing, but your daily bear div is printing as well. You know that's a very high time frame for a bearish divergence, and they typically give you big moves. And you found your entry on a lower time frame, and now you have these higher time frames on your side, right? You shorted a lower time frame that you might have had confirmation with, right? Maybe you were looking for, say you were short from right here. You get this nice little move down. You're in profit, but you now have the convenience of understanding that the high time frames are now on your side. The high time frames have bear divs too. It is likely for them to cool off at this point as well. And then obviously, I don't know if we got another push up from here. No. And you get an absolute nuke show. Right? Unfortunately, I did not take this trade, but we're talking about it on the live stream, so I guess that's the important thing. Well, important for you guys, not great for me. But anyway, I obviously, as we said, we caught the scalp back here. But just to kind of hammer home those daily bear divs like on Bitcoin, again, I don't expect Bitcoin to give us a This was I'm not expecting a 74% move down on Bitcoin. This is obviously an altcoin, but just to kind of give you the severity of these higher time frames, like you get a 74% move on a daily bear div. If you came down to something like the 12-minute, let's see. Here's a nice little bear div on the 12-minute. This is actually. Is this a, yeah, you have a slight bear div right here on your 12-minute. This is actually the short that I caught, not based off the div, but right here, right? What did this give you, right? I shorted a 12-minute bear div. What did that give you? It gave you a 16% move. Still pretty savage because it's an altcoin, right? But just to kind of show you guys, right? 12, get a 5 to 10% on a 12-minute bear div. That daily gives you a 74% nuke. So the higher the time frame, the stronger the signal, and that goes for anything, not just divergences, right? That typically goes for anything. So let's see. Okay. Interesting. Are we looking at INJ? Okay, perfect. Shout out to Alexandra said, look for a swing short on INJ soon. We will take a look at it right in a minute. Not right now. I was going to say right now. But as far as Loom guys, what I would be looking at here is going to be, obviously, we are hitting some support here. You can see, obviously, we've been caught up here before on the way up, so likely you're going to get caught up on the way down. I'm actually going to pull this little area of consolidation real quick, unextend it to the right, and see what we got going on. And look at that. We got a nice little bounce off this local value area high, and this is going to be key, in my opinion. Right, so let me go ahead and mark this out. Value area high, POC value area low is kind of confluent there. Come down to a lower time frame. So here you go, right? Nice little bounce off that value area high. Let me adjust it. Boom. Nice little bounce off that value area high. But this is key, guys. I mean, not even really. It's key, but for maybe a scalp, right? Because now we know that if you wind up getting a rejection and you get pushed below this value area high, start banging your head, you now can start looking down towards the bottom of the range, especially in this scenario because your POC and your value area low are very, very close to each other, making it that much more likely that you get sucked down towards that value area low. And if you were, say, to get into a short, say right here, just for example, that is a nice, if you make it down to that value area low, it's a nice almost 30% move, right? You don't even need that big of a move to profit, especially if you're trading with leverage. Shout out to Dave Digital, says, I took this trade and closed 350%. Thank you. Long here, question mark. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave Digital because he is part of the team that sent over this Bing Bong Cannon, or Bagel Blaster as I like to call it. Shout out to Dave Digital. I haven't popped this thing off. I haven't done a desk pop in quite some time. I'm about to pull a desk pop for Dave Digital. Congrats on the 350% gain, bro. Shout out to you. Bing Bong. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. This thing is loaded. It's Bing Bong. Shout out to Dave Digital. Congrats, bro. Congrats on your win. And I will take a look at if we can look for longs down here in a minute. But that would be kind of what I'm looking at. This is going to be a key level because of the context that it gives us into the market. And shout out to Thesis himself in the chat. What is going on, bro? Says ApeCoin is the new Dave Digital. Shout out to ApeCoin and shout out to Dave Digital. Let's get it. Shout out to Thesis. Do we have market site for Aeon? Okay. Shout out to Thesis, bro. No yellow X's over here, bro. No yellow X's. Shout out to Thesis himself. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. And thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate you, bro. Yeah, ApeCoin is the new Dave Digital. I love it. But guys, again, this is going to be a key level because we now have context into where price will likely go if we get stuck underneath here. The question is, should we long here? Shout out to Dave. I'll tell you this, Dave. This is a pretty big move down, right? We got a pretty big nuke, right? That is pretty brutal. But what I would be looking for is a potential golden pocket retracement, and it's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard. If you pull it from that swing, yeah, these 786 test. This is actually not a horrible area of support. If Loom is indeed going to continue with its bullish price action, higher time frames, you got the 5-day red dot, you got the 4-day red dot, 6-day looking for the red dot, and the weekly also looking for the red dot. Dave, I would say this, not financial advice, obviously. Unless you were looking for some kind of scalps, I would be careful with the longs here in the long term. Now, locally, it might not be impossible to get a little bit of a retracement here, right? 10-hour VWAP coming up, 8-hour VWAP also coming up. Your 6 hour and your 4 hour are coming up. Green dot on the 4 hour, actually. So you may be able to get a retracement, but our higher time frames, with the red dots printing on the higher daily time frames, as well as the money flow coming out on the medium time frames, would indicate to me that my bias would actually be short. So it's not to say that you can't get significant bounces off of these levels, but it makes it a lot more likely that if you do come up, it will put in a lower high and then continue to the downside until these red dots on the higher time frames situate themselves. So if I were looking for a long, Dave, I would just say this. I would say lackluster bounce for a lower high and then a move to the downside is kind of what I would be looking at. If I were looking for that lower high to come in, a key level that I would be looking at is kind of this golden pocket right here. I'll just give you the levels there so you don't have to find them yourself. At about 0.20807 and 0.19792. So if we do get a little retracement, I don't know if you're going to get lucky enough to get back up there, but if you did, I would definitely be looking for shorts, honestly, in this whole area, because your 786 is coming in here at about 0.22768, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I would be looking at. So there you go. So it depends on, scalp long, I'm sorry. If you were to catch a scalp long here, you could pump 53% for that retracement. But let's see if you got the 1 hour bull div, but here's the thing, Dave, you want to enter these trades on the bull div, right? So at this point, the VWAP's rolling over, so I would be careful. I'd be sitting out on longs here. I just don't see an entry right this second. That's not to say if you come down, you can't find an entry, but I would actually lean more towards a potential move up before looking for a short on the way back down. Now, second area of resistance I would look at would be this local golden pocket retracement level, just to give you two more levels to look at. Like I said, I don't know if you're going to be lucky enough to get that move all the way up into this purple box, so I would also look at these levels down here at 0.17436 and 0.16238. Shout out to you, Dave Digital. Hopefully that helps you out. Yeah, shout out to Dave. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. I wanted to show you a little extra love on that TA. There we go. Enter on the div. Shout out to Astro Zombie, Crimson's girlfriend, in the chat. What is going on? But guys, that's what I'm looking at on Loom. All right, let's go ahead and move on to XRP. Dang, we are running a little bit late here, but that's okay. We'll have to do some speed rounds on the altcoins here. And you guys know, we could go a speed round on XRP. Still within, not only have we found more boring price action within this local volume profile. I mean, guys, let's go. Volume profiles for the win, guys. Look at this. When was this? This was on the 16th. I don't even think maybe we did look at this. I don't know if we looked at this, but guys, we've been looking at this local volume profile between 0.4985 all the way down to 0.4632. And, yo, Astro Zombie, late boy candles. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. I actually started the stream at 5:46 today, too, so we're double late. Yikes. Oh, no. Extra time on the charts. I get to hang out with the CandleMafia for a longer time. Oh, no. Shout out to Astro Zombie. Yeah, I'm actually super late today. But that's okay. A little bit of extra sauce. So good for you guys. Bad for my stomach because I am hungry and I will be late for dinner now, but that's okay. But here we go. Right, we have been looking at this local volume profile, and as you guys know, spamming those, shout out to Astro Zombie and Jerval, spamming those new volume profile emojis. Those are savage. But looking at this, guys, local volume profile, until we break this value area high at almost 50 cents, right? Until we really decisively break 50 cents, I'm not looking for a big move to the upside. And, this is where money flow comes into play here. Like I was saying yesterday on the live stream, money flow is like one of the only leading indicators, or it gets as close to leading as you can possibly get. And it's actually funny. When we had Crypto Face on the stream, I actually just ran into a random YouTube short that we put out on the channel from my collaboration with Crypto Face, and he was talking about money flow and how it could be a leading indicator, which is literally the reason why I love money flow so much, is because it can show you a leading indication of where price will go, because it could show you direction, right? As money flow makes lower highs, you can anticipate, hey, where's the money going? It's leaving, and it can help you stay out of bad positions, right? Because on this pump up, you might have been thinking to yourself, oh no, RB, is this going to be the start of a bigger move up? But no, you come back down, you bearishly retest the value area high, and then money flow starts to come out, letting you know that you're probably not going to break out, but more likely you will break down. And you can actually front run this a bit by going to the lower time frames. Let me go ahead and put a vertical line on this breakout of the volume profile. If you come down to something like the 24-minute I don't know if this is going to happen, but this is what I would do. Come down to the lower time frames, and yeah, you can see here on that break up and break down, money flow started coming out on the lower time frames. Come over to the 5 minute. It would have been a little wonky to see. It would have been a little hard, to be honest with you guys. But oftentimes you can go down to a lower time frame and see the money flow coming out. I mean, not even actually. Like, yeah, on this bearish retest, like this would have been your entry. You wouldn't have entered up here unless you were swing failing, unless you were looking for a swing failure. But if you came back down, bearish retest, right? Money flow was coming out on the lower time frames here, so you would have been looking to short here, not necessarily look for a giant breakout, and that's why money flow is so helpful. Because I'm not going to get into a long at a break. I don't long breakouts, but if I were to long this breakout, right, money flow is coming out. That would be literally the money flow is screaming to you, no, don't long. Money flow is leaving. So just a little extra sauce there for you guys. But until we break this key level here, that value area high, or even closer to about 50 cents decisively, I am not looking for a big move on XRP. And then even if we zoom out even more, guys, we are still stuck within the macro range here, which has been boring as all get out. So until we break 50 cents, I'm not looking for a big move up on XRP. And with that being said, it would be a local big move. So I'm not looking for a big move on XRP until we crack the 55 cent level, more likely 56 cent level, before we start looking up towards higher prices. So there you go. Just in general, though, daily money flow is coming up with your bull divs confirmed. So if I had to say, you have your bull divs confirmed, right, into that value area low on the daily, right, and we are putting in a higher low here, right, low, high, higher low, potential higher high to come in here. So I'm not saying that we can't break out, and your money flow is coming up. So you do have a decent argument here to potentially and eventually get a move up to the upside. But again, we are stuck below a lot of these key levels that I just mentioned. So there you go. That's kind of, could get a move up, but until we crack these levels, I'm not going to get out of bed. Shout out to Dave Digital, said, just tell us your address. We'll send dinner. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Dude, I gotta Google that address that you sent yesterday. I'm really curious to what that address was. Shout out to Emax. Shout out to you, bro. I'll answer that question in a second. Shout out to Hannah King. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said post your BTC address equals money for dinner. Shout out to Hannah King. I've always thought. I always thought to myself like put out a tip jar, like, hey guys, like tip me if you're learning something, and just give you guys my addresses. There's something about directly just having people send me money that, I don't know, it feels dirty to me. I'd rather earn it through the channel. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No. You guys support the channel enough. I don't know if we need to be putting out personal addresses for you guys to send money to, but I do appreciate that, Hannah. I really do. But you guys do enough for me. I don't need to add another place for you guys to send me money to. Let me send you guys money because you guys support me on the channel so much. But shout out to Hannah King. I love you dearly. I really do. I'll take your money. Shout out to Hannah King. Let's go. Hey, Hannah, if we get 550 likes on tonight's stream, you might get a chance to win $100 in XRP. So smash up that like button. I know you already did. But if you have not hit it and you like XRP, go ahead and smash that like button. I'll go ahead and send some your way. And then Emax asks if this is a good time to DCA into XRP, and I'll go ahead and cover that real quick. I'll say this, right? Let me pull up the XRP Bitstamp chart just to pull up some extra price action here. Here's the thing, right? XRP had a weird 2021 bull run, right? This is 2017. 2021's up here. XRP never broke its all-time high, right? Because it was suppressed from the lawsuit, right? So, never broke its all-time high. So I would say this. Listen, I mean, the bottom in 2020 was 11 cents, right? Then we came up into the bull run. The bottom here for the bear market has been 29 cents. So in my opinion, if you are going to see, I'll tell you this, VWAP coming up on your weekly here. I mean, it's not like it doesn't look like it's going to absolutely dump. So I'll say this. I mean, for me, if I was buying XRP up here, I already have a giant bag of XRP. I don't know if I need any more. But if I were buying XRP here at, say, 50 cents, and then we dumped all the way back down to the lows, that is a 76% dump. From here. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is down to the 2020 low. We're not expecting that. But if you dump down to the bear market lows, that would be about a 41% dump. Here's the thing. I am okay buying here, right? If I were accumulating XRP, which I always am, but, it's not one of my main DCA bags just because it's one of my main DCA bags. I'm not actively DCAing into it much right now because I already have so much. I'm trying to allocate my capital to other things, right? I already have a giant bag of XRP. But let's say you wind up getting a big move down. Here's what I think. When I look to DCA into something, what I like to do is I don't necessarily like to, if it looks like it's going to come down, I don't mind starting my DCA at the current price and then entering in on the move to the downside, right? Because I'm just getting a lower entry, lower entry, lower entry, lower entry, lower entry. So for me, if I bought XRP here, I'd be fine buying it here because what are we going to do? Dump down to the bear market lows at 28 cents? Like, I'll just buy. Right? And at this point, with the VWAP coming up on the weekly, I'd rather start DCAing in here, and then if we come lower, grab more cheap XRP, rather than wait for this thing to potentially pump, and now I'm sitting up here, and I'm like, oh, should I DCA in? No, I got to wait for it to come down, and then if it doesn't come down, you're stuck buying on the way up. So, in my opinion, for me, if I had no XRP right now, I would probably be buying at these prices, but anticipating it to move down. Right? Just expect the worst, right? Like in my head, I'm like, oh, this thing might go down, right? So let me buy a little here. The big thing is that you're not dumping your entire bag in at one time, right? If you're DCAing in, that's the beauty of dollar cost averaging is you have the ability and the slack, right? You have a little bit of slack because you're not dumping your whole bag, right? If it dumps, great for you. At that point, if I buy XRP right here, and I don't put the only time a dump is bad on that is if I put all my money in, because then I'm sitting here, oh man, I should have bought down here. But what if you put 10% of your bag here and you get a little dip? Oh, I'll put another little 10% in here. Oh, I'll put another little 10% in here. Then you start kind of rooting for it to go down because you're not looking to make money instantly. You're looking to accumulate over time and then cash out years down the road. So at that point, I'm praying for things to dump. There's been altcoins and even Bitcoin. I've been accumulating, right? And when things dump, I'm still giddy about it, right? Because I just want lower prices so I can pack these long-term bags and cash out in 2024, 2025, obviously assuming that the cycle continues or the cycles continue to be somewhat accurate, and we wind up hitting all-time highs at that point. So there you guys go. Hey, Jessica, shout out to Jessica, our female CandleMafia representative. Everybody, show your everybody use the candle emoji to show some love to Jessica, our female CandleMafia representative. Don't show your candles. Put the candle emoji. Anyway, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. Yeah, dude, you're crushing the super chats, bro. Literally was talking about this with Mrs. Candles yesterday. You're a savage, bro. I really do appreciate you. He says, I know what you're thinking. Sometimes this feels a little stalkery. Sure, Dave mutes the stream and just stares at you. He's obsessed. He's obsessed with your calves and wants your address. Totally normal. Yo, I love the relationships that we have in the Candle Mafia between different Mafia members. Like Creighton C and Dave Digital. It's just so funny, man. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And Dave, hey, you guys don't know what my obsessions are. You never know. I might just have Dave Digital's avatar, his YouTube avatar, just like as my background on my computer. You never know. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for that, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital said we're not together, Frank. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Creighton. And just for the record, guys, Dave Digital's avatar is not my PC wallpaper. I swear. Okay. Anyway, there's XRP, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into render. See if we can break this thing down for you guys as well. What were we looking at on render here? All right, let's see. Okay, so we had the potential drunken head and shoulders here, which actually did break down, retest, and then break down again, but only to put in a 3-hour bull div here, only because I'm looking at the 3-hour, to absolutely rip to the upside. So not too shabby here. So I guess that head and shoulders kind of worked, but didn't really play out to the measured move, which would have been down here at that golden pocket. But let's go ahead and get rid of this because this is now old news. Bada boom, bada bing. And here we go. Let's see. And yeah, look at these. Yeah, these swing failures are absolutely savage. Guys, look at this. This is the power of the swing failure. So we have this wick all the way back here, right? This is what's marked out. This wick right here. Shout out to Wick589. I think he's in chat. Shout out to Wick. Thank you for being here, bro. But yeah, you have your wick from right here, right? And obviously, we absolutely ripped above that level. But here's the thing. Well, you probably swing. Yeah, you swing failed that level right here, right? You get a big wick up, big wick down, swing failure, and then you swing fail it again. And then this is really what I like to see for swing failures. And this can really make for some nice scalps. A lot of times, the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is what I like to see my swing failures look like, where your candle wicks up. Candle wicks up, wicks back down, and closes the level right below your SFP level. And then what happens? Rejection to the downside. Now, the goal of this is not to catch the big meltdown, right? Although it can be a big meltdown off an SFP, but really what you're looking for here is a high probability reversal, right? It doesn't need to be a gigantic move. When you're looking at SFPs, although it can mark significant tops, you're not necessarily looking for it to give you big moves. It oftentimes does give you big moves, but really what I like to use the SFPs for is to give high probability moves, right? Because when I'm trading SFPs, oftentimes, because of the reliability of them, what I will do is I will use high leverage, low capital, right? Because the reversal is so likely that I'll just use a super high leverage, low capital, tight stop loss, right? So you could literally lose like 9 out of 10 SFP trades the way I trade them, and then that one SFP that you catch is an absolute giant, not a giant move, but it's an absolute winner, right? Because you're using super high leverage, and to be honest, like it's very unlikely that if you're trading SFPs the right way that you're going to lose 9 out of 10. But even if you did, there's such a high risk to reward and such a such high probability that it's a really profitable trading strategy. And again, if you guys want to check out that video that we put on the channel on Sunday, go check it out if you want to learn more about that. But nice little swing failure of that wick back here. I mean, honestly, swing fail, swing fail, swing fail. So there you go. But let's go ahead and break down what Render is likely to be doing here in the near term. Let me go ahead and clear our drawings. But yeah, money flow on the daily, right? This is why we talk about, actually, let me bring back that TA real quick, right? So what are we looking at here? Look at the money flow on the daily. Money flow coming up, crossing over into the green. What does that indicate? It indicates that the move to the upside is likely to continue. This is why I'm open to more upside on Bitcoin, right? Because your daily money flow crossed over into the green. So this lets us know that the trend to the upside is likely to continue, but that doesn't mean that you can't get a move down first, right? So we're still looking for lower prices potentially on Bitcoin, but if this money flow stays in the green, likely the trend will continue up, which is why I'm open to coming back up to these higher prices and then potentially maybe even cracking the yearly highs now, right? Do you see how my sentiment can shift? You want to adopt that mentality. Don't listen to people who say, oh, you're just bullish or bearish. You just flip with the market. Absolutely. In the beginning of my career, or not the beginning of my career, but the beginning of my YouTube career, that was like one of the things that I struggled with because I couldn't get it across to people because people would always comment, oh, you're just bullish one day, bearish the next day. And I'm like, wait, why that's how it works though. And like people would hate on that. Like they caught me. They're like, you were bearish yesterday. Now you're bullish. And I'm like, yes. And like they felt like they caught me, but I'm like, I couldn't understand it. And then I realized I need to be more clear that I'm a trader, right? Not looking for long-term moves, but only looking for short-term moves, right? So you have to be able, as a trader, if you're going to make money on the way up and the way down, on any time frame, right? You need to be able to switch your sentiment on the go. Right? And that's how you're going to wind up making money. So don't get tripped up by these people saying you can't just switch bullish or bearish. You absolutely can. In fact, it's what you need to do to make money because it's the people who won't switch their mindset or switch their sentiment when they get new information on the charts, right? You could be mega, mega bearish here, and then all of a sudden, if you break market structure and start a bullish trend, you're not going to be just looking to short the thing to zero anymore. That would be foolish. Not only would it not work, it's completely foolish, right? So always be okay with switching your sentiment, right? Like I was very, very against breaking these yearly highs. And again, although I don't think it's likely at this point, if we continue up here, guys, and that money flow stays in the green and we start holding some levels up here and flipping some key levels that we looked at earlier today, I could flip that sentiment, and I will flip that sentiment and let you guys know as soon as I do. But it's not because we're trying to always be right. It's because you have to flip your sentiment to make money trading. So I want to be very clear with that. And if anyone's out there telling you that you can't flip bullish or bearish day to day, it's embarrassing for them because they don't understand what's going on, or they just don't understand that you're a trader. But anyone who knows what they're doing is going to know, like, they're going to say to you, like, wow, you were bullish yesterday, now you're bearish. Are you a trader? And you're like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay. Like, that's how it works. That's not, like, up for debate. But anyway, I just want to make sure you guys, again, as price starts to pick up here, as price action starts to move, and we move into the bull run, you're going to start to see a lot of people who have not been around for very long just coming for the cash grab of YouTube, crypto YouTube, right? So just, you don't want to get mixed up. I'm not saying, I'm sure the bull market will birth a ton of really good content creators as well. But just be careful for those people who are just don't really understand how things work. But anyway, coming on down to, what were we looking at? There we go, render. So what are we looking at here, right? Money flow back in the green, indicating that the trend is likely to continue up, right? That's why we were not looking for that head and shoulders to absolutely nuke you down to zero. We were looking for it to potentially come give us a golden pocket retest, right? For a potential continued uptrend, right? Because you could have you could have your low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. But we front ran this golden pocket, but likely got the bounce off of another one. It was this one. No, it was this one. There you go. Right? So if I could critique our analysis of that we were last looking at on render, I mean, I really wouldn't critique it too much. It's just sometimes the market doesn't do what you want it to. But just understand, it didn't, it didn't come down to our golden pocket, but indeed, the thesis there was the same. Money flow was coming up, and we came back for a golden pocket retest. It just wasn't, it was a more local golden pocket that we were originally looking at, right? And you're never going to be able to catch it every single time. Sometimes price will just go for a different level. But the important thing here, if you're learning, is that money flow was coming up, so your thesis is that the trend will continue to the upside, and you weren't looking for a big breakdown. You were just looking for a higher low to come in at that golden pocket. It just went for a more local golden pocket. That's all. So there you go. Just really spitting the educational sauce tonight. But what do we have going on locally? Very similar to Bitcoin. You could be putting in a bearish divergence here on the daily time frame if we don't continue pushing up here. So as long as your momentum wave here on the daily does not crack this high here, you could be putting in a daily bear div, which could likely result in some downside. And if you wanted to try to front run the daily bear div, you could look over here at the 8 hour, which is getting pretty close to printing that divergence as well. And if we come down, let's see, 4 hour. Yeah, you're printing a lot of potentially going to print a lot of bear divs here, right? Now, money flow on the 4 hours coming up, so I'd actually be careful here with the shorts. I would be looking at some maybe some scalp shorts. Let me see. Is that 16-hour bear div also looking to print with your money flow coming out? Yeah, this thing looks like it may want to cool off. No bear div on the 1 hour. Very, very slight bearish divergence on the 1 hour. But yeah, this is not going to go up forever. But I'd look for this 1 hour bear div all the way up through the 4 hour, 8 hour, 12, and 16 hour on top of the daily to potentially give you a cool off. But again, remember, money flows crossed into the green. This looks like this trend could continue up. So if you do catch a short here, you're not looking to send it to zero, right? You're looking for, again, something similar to what happened just before. A higher low and a continuation to the upside. So there you go. There is render. Let's see. Shout out to Bob from accounting. Shout out to you, bro. I love that name. He says, okay, another question. What app or site do you guys use to trade that does not KYC? I was on Bybit and then BitGet, and I lost so much money when when KYC. I was okay leaving, but willing to try again. Shout out to Bob from accounting. The exchanges that I'm really like right now is Mexi, Femex, and BingX. Those are kind of my main exchanges right now. And yeah, that's I would definitely go check that out. So we have a bunch of deals for you down below in the description if you want to sign up for any of those exchanges and help support the channel. You could do that, or go to frankiecandles.com and check out all our deals. We also have deals on like VPNs and like all this other cool stuff that I never really bring up. So if you go to frankiecandles.com, you can see all our deals out there. But those are the exchanges that I've been using most recently. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's go ahead and take a look at INJ, and I will go ahead and say it. We may lose some viewers here, guys, but we're going to move Link to tomorrow's stream because we are running out of time, but I want to cover INJ really quickly because someone said, look for a swing short. I think it was Alexandra. I don't know how I remembered that, but they said that look for a swing short on INJ, and I'm here to tell you, I don't know. Let's look into it and see if that's a good idea or if I think it's a good idea. Because just if I think it's a bad idea doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It just means I think it's a bad idea, right? So anyway, let's see. Looking at the weekly, let's clear the TA. Whew, yeah, weekly VWAP is it's not looking bearish, right? It's not flopping over, but it's up there. It's likely not going to keep going up forever. So let's come down to some of these lower time frames. 4-day money flow generally coming out. VWAP a little bit overextended there. 3-day green dot printed with the money flow crossing over into the red. So we actually have the opposite happening here than what's happening on Bitcoin. Right, and that is money flow crossing over into the red on the higher daily time frames. Even the 4-day is starting to leak out. A VWAP, I mean, pretty overextended on the 4-day here. That can't stay up forever. Yeah, even on your 2-day, it's a little bit conflicting. Money flow in the green, VWAP rolling over, no divergences, daily time frame, money flow coming up. Yeah, this is a little bit tricky here. Yeah, money flow coming up on the daily. However, so this is, I'll tell you just straight up how I would treat this. I would not trade this with high leverage. I would be trading the higher time frames, looking for these high time frame divergences. I guess that's the theme of today's video or today's live stream is high time frame divergences and their effectiveness on the markets. I don't know why I said that. But this is, I would wait for some of these high time frame divergences, and I wouldn't necessarily, because of the money flow on the daily, I wouldn't necessarily be looking to take it to zero. I would be treating it as a scalp with the idea that it could turn into a swing, right? And if anybody is not understanding the difference between a scalp and a swing, scalp is short-term, swing is long-term. Scalp is like in and out of multiple trades a day. Swing is in a trade for over a day up to I would say a few weeks to a few weeks up to a month or two. And then anything past that, in my opinion, is like a position trade. But, there's slightly, I don't know what the technical definitions are. But Dave Digital, thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He says, take your time, but you're telling us about last night. Oh, shout out to Dave Digital. Yes. Shout out to you, bro. It took me a second to realize what was going on there. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. But yeah, I would look for this bearish divergence on the daily. Right here on the daily, 16-hour, 12-hour, 10-hour. And once those divergences start to print, that's where I would likely be looking for a low-leveraged short position. Again, where would I be targeting? Let's pull the local profile. Yeah, or deviating from the local profile. And, yeah, what is this move? Hang on. Yeah, 8% move. Like, I would just be looking to trade this local profile, right? Like, coming up to the 4-hour. Yeah, like you're outside your value area, right? You got a little bit of a, not a strong divergence on the 4-hour. Money flow is also coming up, so you be careful. But, yeah, 2-hour bear div just wanted to push through that. I would wait for something like a 4-hour, 5-hour, 4-hour and up. If these bear divs start printing, I would look for a low leverage short, in my opinion. Not a signal. Not a trade signal. Hashtag not a trade signal. But I would look for something like that. Wouldn't be the worst risk to reward. Again, low leverage with the anticipation of, hey, if we get back in this range and then it starts to look ugly, then I could look to lock in profits early. I'd probably be looking to lock in profits at that value area high for a 1.2% move, 1.9, almost 2% move. Once we get down there, locking in profits, moving stop loss. Either to break even or just much lower, limiting my loss. And then once we get back in to this value area high and we can't get back above, if we get down here, this is where I would take a little bit more profit, move my stop loss to break even. Boom. Guaranteed winning trade. I'm sitting on my hands, letting price action either stop me out for a profit, or continue to dump and I'll wake up one day with a bunch of profit, right? Or a bigger trade than I was anticipating. But worst case scenario, I would look to ride it down to the value area high at 793 and then potentially get stopped out for a small loss or break even, likely if I've already taken profit. So there you go. That's kind of the levels that I would be looking at on Caspa, on INJ, and you did actually get a pretty, I mean, this is the, I don't really look for these on, let's see, hang on. Bear with me, guys, bear with me. I want to grab this wick. Frankie Candles, God, watch your mouth. Anyway, this wick right here is what I'm looking at. Let's see, okay. 4 hour, did we swing fail? Yeah. So you did swing fail this macro level here. Oof. Oof. Is that a meme? Oof. Anyway, yeah, you did swing fail this level. I'll mark that. Confirmed SFP. Confirmed SFP here on the 4 hour right here. We'll see. No guarantees this plays out. But SFP sitting here could be the start of a move to the downside. But again, money flow in the green here, so I wouldn't be looking to ride it down to zero. Being careful. And again, you are getting slight mixed signals here. Daily money flow looking to cross over into the green, but the higher time frames here, higher dailies, don't look as good. So again, that's why I would be looking for this to be a scalp, right? And then if the daily money flow coming up is actually a fake out and it gets a bigger move, you're in that risk-free trade. And there you go, guys. I think I'm giving away too much free sauce here on today's live stream. Let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital, said, I have my first stalker. Yes! Shout out to Dave Digital. How did you find out that I've been watching you through your windows? I'm just kidding, Dave. But, guys, I think that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Again, we will be moving Link to the stream tomorrow. It'll be the first altcoin that we take a look at. But let's see. I just want to make enough money to buy the property I'm looking at about right and invest and make residuals in perpetuity. Shout out to Bob from accounting. If anybody's interested in my long-term plan, I mean, that's really my plan too, right? I love crypto. I will always invest in crypto, right? As long as it is a viable and good investment option. However, this is just some random sauce here. My main goal is basically, like, as we make money in crypto, real estate is a very, very, very good market to get into. They're not making any more land, right? That cliche saying, they're not making any more land. It will always be in demand. Land will always be in demand. So, but yeah, it's one of the best ways. I think it's like 80% of millionaires or something are created through real estate. Obviously, not the case for me, because I'm not really big into real estate right at the moment, because most of my capital is in crypto right now, because I think that's where the bigger opportunity is in the short term. But obviously, you guys that's important to realize. You want to make sure that you're setting yourself up, not just to hit it big in crypto and blow all your money on Lamborghinis, right? You want to make your money in crypto and invest in things that will take care of you for the rest of your life, whether the crypto markets are up or down. Now, obviously, the housing market has its up and downs too, but you always want to be investing in other things, not financial advice for me, but you want to invest in things that will take care of you for the rest of your life. And crypto is not the only thing that does that is able to give you good returns, right? Now, maybe your real estate doesn't give you a 100x gain on your money in 5 minutes like an altcoin will, but it will give you sustainable, reliable, passive income, right? Listen, guys, I've been basically since I was a kid, I've been in the search for passive income. I've tried everything. I've had many businesses. I've tried many different forms of passive income. Passive income does not exist, right? True passive income in the form that most people look at it as, where you just sit on a beach and print money for no reason. And it is a little bit, it does exist, but it's not, a lot of people will say like, oh, drop shipping is passive income. All you got to do is click a button and you're printing money. Amazon FBA, click a button, you're making money. All that stuff's not passive, right? It takes a lot of work to build it up, and it takes a lot of work to maintain it. It's not that you can't make money doing it. It's just not passive income. Even crypto, right? You got to look at the charts. You got to make sure that you're getting in and out of your positions. You got to actively manage the portfolio. That is not passive income. Real estate, in my opinion, is the closest thing you can get to passive income, true passive income. But even at that point, you're still managing the properties unless you have a property managing company that you're using. But still going to require attention in some form or fashion until you really make it to the big leagues, where you just got other people running all your businesses for you and you could just sit on your private jet and lay on a beach. But for me, that's never really the goal, right? I enjoy I enjoy the hustle, right? I enjoy the work. I enjoy the challenge. Like if I woke up in the morning and the only thing that I had to do during the day was go lay on a beach, I don't think I'd be happy. I think I'd be miserable. I think I'd very quickly become miserable. I go on vacation for a week and I go crazy, right? So, I just, that doesn't mean that other people's goals can't be that. Maybe people like laying on the beach and that makes them happy, and that's totally, that's up to them. I can't tell people what they like. But for me, I've always liked the chase. I like the hustle. I like the work. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm like, it's like my breed. I don't know. I'm a worker. I don't know. I like to do it. I like the hustle. But yeah. Anyway, shout out to the random rants on the stream. Not rants, but random sauce, I guess. But let's go ahead and spin that wheel of pain and pleasure, guys, and see if we can get some giveaways. Let's see. Should we even look at the likes? Let's see. Oh, God, 300. We had enough people in here for 550 likes. I need to up the ante, I think. I need to, I think we need to up the giveaways. Tony D, we got to figure out, we got to up the giveaways. We got to make it a bigger amount of money, I think. Spin your face. Shout out to Dave Digital. All right, guys, we got 363 likes. Smash that like button on your way out. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to the and hanging out till the end of the stream. Smash that like button on your way out. And if you're just hanging out there watching the content, or watching crypto, smash that like button, guys, if you found any value in this live stream. But let's go ahead and spin that wheel. We got 3 spins. Let's see. Shout out to Bob from Accounting. Said spitting knowledge. Good man. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Bob from Accounting. I agree with Darren. Even passive income needs a lot of work. Absolutely. I remember I had an Amazon FBA business, which there are 2 sides to this coin, right? I feel about I will tell you guys directly. I don't know if anybody knows what Amazon FBA means, but basically, over 50% or close to 50% of the people of the products sold on Amazon are sold by third-party people, not Amazon. They're sold by people like me and you who sign up for a feature of Amazon that allows you to sell name brand products on their website by yourself, right? And it's oftentimes pitched as the best passive income opportunity. Give me $30,000 and I'll build you an Amazon store that makes you a millionaire in 30 seconds. It's not the case. But here's the thing, guys. You can make money with Amazon FBA. I've done it, right? You 100%. It's a viable business option, and I actually really enjoyed it. And you could definitely make good money with it. But it's not passive. It's anything but passive. Now, obviously, you get a bunch of profitable products. You send them into Amazon. Amazon sells them for you, right? So in that aspect, sure, if you get a bunch of profitable products, you ship it to Amazon, you could technically lay back and watch the profit come in, but that profit's going to stop unless you're continuing to get more products to send in, right? So it is kind of passive in a weird way. Sure, I was definitely making money in my sleep. There were times where I'd be woken up in the middle of the night from my phone going crazy from sales, but once all the inventory sold out, you got to go get more inventory, right? So that's not passive. So you also got to keep the books, you got to keep your inventory managed, make sure you're still profitable. I mean, it's very intricate and it's a lot of extremely hard work. But you could build it up to a point where you could hire people and then you take a step back. But even that, just owning a business until you really make it big time where you're not the guy that people go to with problems. You have a guy for that. You have a guy managing the managers of your businesses. Then you could sit back and really get that passive income. But Amazon FBA is not a scam. I want to really say that. That's a bad rap on the internet. Now, 90% of the courses you'll buy are definitely scams. But trust me, I've done it before for a long time. Like, you can make money on Amazon FBA. It's not a scam, but it's just much harder. You're not going to make money. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight, and it's not going to be easy. Like the gurus online will make you think. But guys, there we go. We got 3 giveaways out of 4 spins. That's not too bad of a hit rate. So mods added to the giveaways. We still got 389 people in here. Let's get the likes up to the amount of people in here. At least 389 likes. Smash that like button if you have not already. But with all that being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to tonight's live stream and hanging out with us till the end of the stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Again, like I said, for Mrs. Candle's birthday yesterday, we were just kind of talking about how, yeah, it's just like the support is unreal, and I really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you found some value in the live stream. And with all that being said, shout out to the CandleMafia, the best crypto community on earth. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys right here, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. We'll talk about that later. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road, chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store, I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the cam base where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching full seven stances like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time. I know you see me standing in the front, back of the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need consentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to stew a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle shrunk. 4th and 40 got a punt. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the jugular, mate. The one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me arrogant. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I am worth. Woo.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Wait, what? Oh, no! Oh, hey, whoa, hold up. Whoa, hang on. Hang on. Wait a second, guys. It's a joke. I changed that background. I just did that just now. I swear. I just did that for a joke. It hasn't been like that. No. Mystic Ruin says nice wallpaper. Yeah, I know, right? Haha, it was a joke. I just did it. I swear. I just did it 5 seconds ago. It was not something, it's hasn't been like this for a long time. Like I said, I just did this 2 seconds ago. It's all for the bit, guys. It's all for the bit. I definitely don't have Dave Digital's avatar saved in my wallpaper permanently for the past 7 months. But shout out to Creighton C. We got a super chat. Says, no worries, Frank. You could skip story time. We good. Tell us another time. We don't need to hear it. Shout out to Creighton C. Dave Digital wants to know what we did last night for Mrs. Candle's birthday. And I'll tell you, we did exactly what Mrs. Candles wanted. I gave her present. I just feel like there's no way for me to say what we actually did without someone twisting it in chat to be something dirty. But we went out to eat. We were going to go to like a really nice restaurant, and then Mrs. Kendall's like, let's just go to Miller's. I like Miller's. And I was like, okay, sure. And then I gave her a gift first. We went out to eat, and then we got back home, and that's about it. That's about it. Story basically ends there. We went right to sleep. But guys, can we talk real quick about the gift? Are we going to do, I'm going to put a poll. I'm going to put a poll here. Hopefully she's not in chat. We're going to do a poll. And I think, I got to end this one real quick. Come on. There we go. I'm not even going to, okay, what should we get? Right to sleep, right away. Mafia, custom CandleMafia bracelet. I'm just gonna like you guys will get it. I'm gonna like type these really quickly because I gotta get out of here. Custom CandleMafia bracelet. And what were some of the other ones? I forget. Actually, maybe we won't do a poll. I think we're gonna land on that. A custom CandleMafia bracelet because it's a gift from you guys to her. And I saw a couple people put custom CandleMafia bracelet, and I think that's kind of cool. It'll take some time to get, but I think we could probably get it within that $500 price range from the super chats last night. A wick in a box. A wick in a box. No candle? Shout out to I'm My Hero. Yeah, wick. Suggestions must be registered with the SEC 2 weeks. All gift suggestions must be registered with the SEC 2 weeks ago. That'd be special. Yeah, I think. Ooh, a calflet? Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Okay, we're going to get Mrs. Candles a custom CandleMafia calflet. And it's going to be cool. I might incorporate CandleMafia members into the bracelet. Yo, but yeah, I think that is it. I saw a couple of recommendations for that last night. I think we're going to go with it. I think it's perfectly in the price range, and I think it's cool because the CandleMafia isn't just special to me, guys. It's changed Mrs. Candle's life as well. So I think it'd be kind of cool. And I also got her other gifts. It's not like it's all about the CandleMafia. It's all about me. We got her other stuff as well, obviously. But this is a gift from the Mafia. You guys showing love. So I'm gonna get to work on that, getting a custom piece made, and I'll send you guys updates into how it's going, and we'll gift it to her live on stream. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Oh, wait, whoa. Anyway, I'll see you guys same place, right here, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love each and every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. That's all I got. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the